Okay, so I kind of put the art model on the back burner here, but I like where I'm going with that one. This one's just a little bit more practical because I can actually use it for a bit of a monetary gain, close to zero, close to one. Not necessarily that it's going to help me in any way, but it certainly helps with the maintenance of demand in terms of calibrating the function accordingly. Now, again, right now I'm just a bathroom maintenance person over to Reflection Lakes, but it's actually not bad comparatively to mills that I've worked in before. They're doing me just as good, and what you don't get by muddy and silicosis and burnt by rock and getting crush hazards and things like that. You do have to consider fecal material, COVID, and other sicknesses, which is a bit of a risk index. So I'm glad that it's at least, well, they get paid the same as what that was. My whole career as a stonemason, years into it, just to jump into some camp kid come across in the game. Now, let me just go ahead and stop you there because I'm not really complaining about the bathroom job. I want to be very sure about that I'd put a foot in an ass one of those stonemasons first about what the fuck just happened there. At any rate, starting to write out my model inside of here. We got the bathroom maintenance person. And the main task of what you're going to do is clean bathrooms. You're going to try to start with the females and work to the males. Just because generally in the morning time like that, if you can get that done, you can do checks and things without actually augmenting. So imagine this training sequence right here was the first brief of your first day training, and somebody was going to provide you with something like this. Clean bathrooms. A, females. B, males. Two, and the main task is the laundry rooms. And some are attached, some don't have them. Clubhouse, bathrooms, kitchen, rec room, bingo room, and windows. That might be integrated into your task depending on if you can actually handle the rotation of at what I'm making at 15 comparatively to what would be a minimum wage task, and if they have somebody in that clubhouse to be able to determine whether it was for them to do that or you're just doing the check and additional cleanings just to maintain it and burn your day out without having to integrate with the other maintenance team's tasks. We'll get back into that here in a minute, but as far as the standard model is concerned, we're going to stay here on this horse, and that is where we belong. Clubhouse, bathroom, so on. Track conditions and comments. Well, I'll actually be building this into a monthly, weekly, daily, yearly, some kind of master chart to actually be able to form out a day chart so you can put the comments on there or give you some rough scale about what one should look like. And that's going to be track conditions and comments. A, 1, not used, or A, heavily used. Not only is this important for the route you're about to take around this camp, and this is a multiple stall and shower stall bathrooms, so it's not like you're just cleaning one toilet and one urinal in one shower. They have 2 or 3 of them, if not more than that, at least. So you're going to have to track that. It might be seasonal. It might be conditional, like this weekend all the time. And over the long on truth tables, that might be important to actually have that information at some point in time. Maybe for days off. Maybe so we don't want to lose it on something or a way to adjust that in the future without causing more problems, without some kind of calculation to help you base that material. Comments, concerns, and considerations. Sometimes going in there, you might have a comment. Clients might have a comment. They might have concerns. And they might have considerations or a way to augment that. Those might be things that are taken down in the office later. Side things that have nothing to do with your task at all, but you are part of the staff on that company, so be sure to be ready to handle something like that and act in accordance to those situations. So just get real quick again, just bathrooms, site person, real simple. Then I took a scale of that map. Now this is something that they provided with you, but it's not all in one maintained setting, right? You want to make sure that that's always there in the key setting for the early training foundation, and then we'll get back to that. And it always shows the reference. It gives you the camp, what's north, how to get there, shows you, once I show you where the first sites are in the original line, you'll know exactly how big the site is, where to spatially be aware of where you are on there. And again, until you figure out exactly what the timeline is, I can usually figure out this first route before lunch of all 5 of these bathrooms, take lunch, clean the clubhouse, and then I'll start doing secondary checks or begin secondary. Well, I'll always do a secondary check in every building before I begin a side task at that site on these locations. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 in the clubhouse up in there and the shop stuff, but that's more of the maintenance team's department because more of the tools and stuff that they've handled before. Something I've done, not doing it right now, and I have enough time in the operation that, to me, but in terms of the cleanliness, it does come up. There are a lot of in between those things. About every 2 hours or so, you're hitting that site again on that operation. But for sure, after your first run, she is done, wiped out. And all you might have to do is some little cleaning, flush the toilets, toilet wand, clean off a sink or something, and wipe down a shower. Nothing much. And then you're going to start a side task in there. Clock in at shop, gather tools, start at 1 and work your way to 5. When finished, go to clubhouse, repeat 1 through 5 at the end of the day. At least you're doing as many cycles as you can. You'll be on this 5 days a week. So if that's what's in there, that's what will persist inside of there. Be sure to get at least that first run done. Heavy cleaning, everything's going to be a mechanical process, and we'll actually get into drawing out how to properly clean a fucking toilet in a minute here. But first, we got cleaning gear, gloves, brooms, push brooms, mop and mop bucket, Pine Sol, spray bottles, Clean Green spray bottle, Windex, 2 full rolls of toilet paper, and I'm beginning to process my way through this just off-site on my day off, but I should have it recognized. You're going to need a box of garbage bags. You're going to need what else you need? Shower curtains in addition to this, extra soaps for the dispensers inside of there. And again, when we get to our comments and concerns, this here, because you don't want to come back to the shop later when you should have brought a box of toilet paper back with you from lunch or something like that. This is going to keep you on track because you might get buzzed around during the day and stuff happens. Okay, so when we get through that, then the next page is going to be side tasks. Cleaning parking lots, policing cigarette butts, pressure washing the building, and then if after that time the rotation hasn't worked itself out, or you are so fast inside of this that you actually need to be given additional tasks that are on weekly operations, whether it be the side tasks that need to be completed, or we need to find new side tasks for you to correlate the function of a week. Is it change all the shower curtains? What seems like a functional model? What seems like unsanitary, unhealthy conditions in a camp type setting of every time I'm going in there spraying them with the Clean Green to be able to work this out? Well, hold on. We'll get to that here in a minute, but
thanks so much, John. That's right. I'm joined now by
you're going to process that, and I'll actually draw you out a site map. I want you to walk in this rotation around every single one of these buildings like it's a mathematical sequence and police those cigarette butts. Pick up metal, nails, any kind of trash in there. I know one of them's got the trash dispenser on it. Make sure you're doing a lap around that. If any building's going to need that department is going to need painting or high-lowing of the showers or a scrubbing protocol, an additional extra grind to deal with the shower scum or something. These are absolutely things that you can augment the reality for by a proper programming situation for in that simulation. First, it's going to be a training model, and then your own cosmic radiation background and constellation tracking it around the orbitals inside of here. After you get that mainline material started to work out, you actually want to hardline the process before you start your calendar set. This is how you clean a toilet. Doesn't seem like much, but 6-inch by 11-inch sheets of toilet paper or of paper towel. You fold them in half with gloves on, of course, and you're going to hit each one of the stalls with one of them. You're going to run this because you don't want to contaminate your gloves any more than you can. So by folding those 2 pieces and folding them in half again, cleaning a toilet and tossing it, you're reducing cross-contamination for COVID or any other reason about something that's going down in there. To begin to process this through. There's actually a very specific technique of how you clean that, and you may want to start with something like that. See here I'm still thumbing through the Nicolas Cage multi-world and universes of options at that level. But that is all still one fluid process as you're beginning to walk through this. And you usually get compliments accordingly. Your numbers of electromagnetisms, of maintenance, management, efficiency, and other terms like that are going to begin to trigger off based on that system and hopefully be primed to the situation. Something like reducing cross-contamination and utilizing this kind of scientific process where it's not just spot cleaning. You will do the exact same process every single morning and make it a job that's worth something inside of there, so you can actually benefit from that and hopefully stage for any other opportunities if those opportunities come, or at least maintain your own truth table if you have to take that with you and go somewhere for wage inflation while changing functions in the situation, where it may be a reality much lower under the Mikowskian space than some of this may be represented in augmented reality. At any rate, you may actually want to draw out some of the diagrams of when you spray the toilets. You're going to take the first thing you do, walk in the building, do a spot check the toilets, make sure there ain't no crap or anything inside there, flush it, take all the garbage out, take any bottles or soap or anything like that they left in there and toss that away. You don't want extra hands making extra back and forth trips because it's not efficient, and you may not get that done before lunch without rushing the operation or skipping steps. You want to make sure it's as mechanical as physically possible. Once you got that done, you're going to grab your materials, your clean green, you're going to spray the toilets. And I'm actually going to show you spray, toilet bowl, outsides. You may want to do more of a seat base. Once you get that done, outside of the toilets can still be done. You'll have sanitizer on it, but you might have a mess. So do accordingly. But it's always that mechanical process. We don't want to waste extra paper towels. They're expensive, and we don't want to waste cleaning material. We want to make sure it's as efficiently clean as possible. Once you finish that, you're going to not spray it, don't wipe it off yet. Spray, go through them, change all the toilet papers, all the sanitary bags in the females' room, depending on, always going to start in the females. Go to the males when you're done. Help you process this out. Hunter's prize, levels of intelligence. Could be a bathroom or carpentry design of any other form. Built a lot of carpentry, been part of a lot of carpentry processes, bathrooms and camps and other things are involved. This is just another sub-detail of that while mainlining a task. Close to 0, close to 1. Be Ryman's hypothesis. We'll get into at any rate. Toilet wand, every single one of them. Not sweeping, no mopping. We'll make sure we take care of that stuff at the end. Get all those done. You're going to walk to the urinals. You're going to do those. Females don't have one, so you subtract that from the process. There you would go to the showers. You're going to spray them down, wipe them down, make sure it's as dry as possible so it dries off as efficiently as possible before the next crate train comes down there, and you're trying to maintain each of those bathrooms, male, female, and in the washroom or the laundry room here in a minute, at about 30 to 45 minutes. Now, again, there's different numbers of bathroom stalls, urinals, and showers in each of these, but it ranges something between 30 and 45 minutes at each site on that map that you take. If you do that correctly, you'll be done with that right about lunchtime. I'm going to try to finish accordingly. As you walk that process through, it's good to actually show you how complicated this is, or what you may not notice in terms of bugs and cross-contamination that goes into these kinds of situations. Not just between the customers, but your own safety and health inside of this situation. It's something that you don't want to forget in terms of shaking hands of danger down in there after you just got done cleaning the bathrooms, and might want to shake the hand of some patron that may not have known where you have been all day. Got to keep these things in consideration while you're going through the material. So I'm going to continue that out, and like I said, it may even come to the point where the writing idea of the bathroom cleaning process is then done to the drawouts of specifically folding the paper towel. It may seem redundant and stupid, but make sure you're doing that, and then when you show them how to do that, you follow that thing like it's the holy tome of the Necronomicon, resurrecting them from the freaking dead. Catch you on the next one.